Hello, Rich from Loner Strategy Games here. In this video I want to take a look at Gal Civ 4, go over some of the highlights and maybe a few of the lowlights, and touch on what I think is fun and some of the new features. So with that said, let's get started. The game starts you out to choose civilization, the lead screen. You've got 18 civilizations you can play, and I have to admit the artwork's pretty cool on these. But anyway, when you settle on your civilization, it'll give you abilities like what they start with: colony ship, survey ship, what their ideology is, and what their biology is, and a little bit of a background on what the species is like. At the customize your civilization screen, you can do things like rename your empire and change a little bit of the history behind it. You can change the emblem if you want to by hitting the edit button. I like the one I've got, so I'm gonna leave it alone. You can edit your abilities by hitting the edit buttons and then drop down arrow and choose what you want here. So there's a lot of things you can do at this screen. You can set your home world, what type it is, change the history if you want to. You can set your civilization traits at this screen also, just don't go below 0. Like if I go to a -1, I'm out of trait points. I've got too many and I have to give one back before I can go to the next screen. So that's the only real restriction on this screen. At the game settings screen, you can make a lot of adjustments to the way the game plays, like the galaxy difficulty, civilization proximity, things like that. You can set the number of sectors in your game. I'm going to bump this up. I'm going to play a lot of sectors in one of my games. Star frequency, so lots of things. You can set the number of anomalies, resources, disable or enable tech trading. Lots of good things to set here. You can also take a look at your victory options if you want to, and turn them off or on, whichever ones you want to use. I'm going to leave all 5 of them on. At the opponent settings screen, you can see who's playing against you, plus an idea how many random civilizations there are. In this game it's set up for 14. If I don't like one of these, if I want to play against these guys in particular, I can just drag and drop them over there. I can also set their intelligence anywhere from easy to random to godlike. Don't think I got any godlike ones in my game, so I'm going to set that one to normal. It'll be a little harder than the other ones. And with that, that's all there is to it. All you do is hit start game and you're off to the races. I'm going to jump into a game I already have in progress, turn 159. I'm already at war with the Drengen and the Yor, and at first things didn't go well, though I'm starting to recover. And I'm being asked for help by the Taurian regime, but I'm going to turn them down because I really do have enough problems of my own. This game only has 2 sectors. I'm holding my own right now. At first the Yor were taking me out, but I since managed to get medium hulled spaceships and I've started to fight back a little bit. The Drengen have not attacked me yet. They must be focused in their wars up here. Usually after the first 5 minutes of a game I know whether I'm going to like it or not, and I knew I'd definitely like this one after I played it for about 5 minutes, plus I'd played Gal Civ 3 in the past. But this is the part of the game that really draws me into is the conflict and diplomacy. So that'll give me a chance to go into the diplomacy screen and work my way backwards and just explain how I got to this situation. So at the diplomacy screen, I can pull up whoever I'm playing against, like the Drengen. Their enemies are who they're at war with right now, and they're at war with me and the Taurian Empire and the Festran Hunt. So nice summary there. I can go there and that tells me who they're at war with. So that explains really why the Drengen haven't bothered me in my sector, because they're fighting 2 other species in the other sector. So I imagine all their forces are tied up there. When war starts between 2 civilizations, you can't really speak to each other at first. I've been fighting the Drengen long enough now, I think I can talk to them. So I can propose peace if I want to, since they haven't really fought with me. You give peace treaty, and what do I get? I don't know. Peace treaty is a peace treaty, but I'm not quite ready to do that yet because I've got them on their heels in my sector, along with the Yor. I think I'll fight it out a little longer first before I pursue peace. Maybe I can just take them out. Anyway, I can go to each species or each civilization, take a look at them, see where they're at. Another thing I can do is I can go to the summary screen. The summary screen gives me an idea of what's going on. Like I'm ranked number 2 in the galaxy when it comes to the overall balance of power. The Drengen are 3, so it shows me I'm at war with them. This shows me who I'm at war with. I'm at war with the Drengen and the Yor. I had the unfortunate privilege of starting my sector with those two species in the same area as me. Kind of unfortunate, but they got the action started fairly. At least they were kind of friendly to me at first, but that changed quickly. I don't want to turn this into a gameplay video, so I'm going to take a look at some of the features of this game. The user interface is laid out pretty well, I think, makes good use of the edges of the screen. The soundtrack and the sound effects are great in my opinion. Here at the bottom you can manage your civilization, you can manage your leaders. Like I can recruit them by dragging them over here. I can assign a minister, I can assign a governor, I can assign diplomats, I can assign commanders. The thing is, if I assign a leader to a ship, it materializes. It spawns right away next to my home world, so that's good. We've got ideologies. There are 7 in this game, and each one has 2 paths. Like liberty, I can go authority or liberty. With innovation, I can go innovation or tradition. So they're kind of opposites of each other. Opportunity, equality, or opportunity. So it's got the ideology system has been greatly changed in this game. Something that's new is executive orders, and I've got quite a few available now that I've been playing the game for a while. I've used this one some. It invites new leaders for me to recruit for my empire if I want. But you can make illicit deals. I haven't tried that one yet, but there's a lot of options here. The data bank is where you can take a look at your stats for your civilization. It'll give you like faction power. The graph tells you how you stack up. Looks like I'm gaining power and the dragon are dropping, which is another reason I wouldn't want to sue for peace with them. Not quite yet. I'd like to at least get them out of my sector. But anyway, that's kind of a good thing. Next is the Galactic challenges, and this gives you a list of what's available and what's locked. That's good. Diplomacy I've already looked at. Artifacts, I'm not real impressed with this. Right now I've only got 2. It looks like they're the same thing. I haven't used them yet. I'm going to hop over to another game to take a look at the Galactic Bazaar since I don't have it unlocked in this game yet. Just haven't had the chance. But you need a Ministry of Finance before you can access it. And then once you get it, you've got access to all kinds of resources. I thought the Bazaar number 3 was, in Galaxy number 3 was better, but this is more like a market. Same thing as a market in something like Stellaris. This wouldn't be complete without taking a look at combat. Like most strategy games, there's not a whole lot of tactics involved. And you can get a brief overview of what happens, or you can watch the battle in this game. And the cinematics are really pretty darn good for this. The camera option has several views. Right now I'm in the free view, and you can see my ships are closing in on the helpless shipyard, but like I said, it's a dragon, so who really cares? Wipe them out, kill them all. But anyway, you can switch between several different modes, from top down, cinematic, follow a ship, or go back to free. Problem is, the free you got to find out where everything's at. I usually like the top down view. That seems to work the best for me. So it shows your ships going up in flames as they fight the shipyard. So it's not so helpless after all. It does put up a fight. But in the end, you can watch the destruction of the shipyard in all its glorious detail. And get a summary again. And watch it again if you want to. A strong point I think this game has is planetary management. Like for colonies like Answer 1 that have a Class 1 poor rating, I really don't have to micromanage those. They just send their basic resources to the closest core world. If I wanted to change that, I could assign a governor to it, but I wouldn't want to waste the manpower or manage a planet that's that poor in resources. When you go to a colony world or core world, however, there's a lot of management options. This one's pretty well built up. I've got the options to terraform. I can put in research districts. I can put in manufacturing districts. There's also unique improvements. I've got a lot of them on this planet already, like Khazar's mainframe. So all you do is basically click on an open tile if I've got one. It doesn't look like it do. Oh, I can improve this one, or I can choose to terraform that. So it's fun. I mean, this is really great, I think, for managing planets. Another thing I like about these games is the events. You can pop one up and it gives you a readout of what's going on, a situation report. And I tend to read these more than I do in a game like Stellaris. I don't know if it's because they're bigger or more interesting or what, but I just tend to do that. I think some of it's because I've really got to read into it before I make an informed decision, rather than taking a guess. So I'm going to take the research bonus on this one and go on with it. One thing I'm not too crazy about in this game is the tutorial. Even though I have it fully enabled, he only pops up sporadically. And he's helpful when he does pop up. He'll show me things, but it's just not enough coverage to make me happy. This could do a lot better job, I think. And here's one of the things I think the game does well and then not so well, and that's colonization. So I can go here and click on planets. I can see what colonies I have, what colonized worlds I have, and what's uncolonized. And if I want to find one that I like Sitka, it's class 20, excellent. I click on it and it takes me to it, and there it is right there. So the problem is, well, if I want to colonize it, I can't right click it and bring up any options to colonize it. So if I go back to my ships and go to my colony ship, that's selected, but now I can't really find the world I want to colonize all that easily. I can go back there, but then my colony ship is deselected. So effectively what I need to do is go back to my ships and select that, and then I have to scroll out and try to remember exactly where that was. And these icons help a little bit, but I've got to remember, and if I can't remember, then I've got to go back and zero in on it again. And it's up here. Okay, it's just this is what an amazing world looks like. Scroll out. So it's almost impossible for me to pick out my ships and scroll out when they're scrolled out. There's my colony ship. So I can go back and go run over here, and there's Sitka. So it can be done, but it's just a little cumbersome. It seems like there should be an easier way to colonize a planet than having to do it like this. And there may be a shortcut that I don't know about, but if there is, I have not found it yet, and that would probably be something that would be good for a tutorial to deal with. About the only other major issue I have with the game, and this is kind of a personal preference thing really, is the research. So I go here, I get 5 options. I've got my Ministry of Research appointed, or whatever his name is, and there are 4 branches, and I can re-roll them to focus on something, like if I want to do military. The problem is, well, the tech library is great too. I mean, I can read about anything in the game if I want to. Go back, but my problem is the tech navigator. So I can only go to the options, see what these options lead to. I can't see what each branch is, so I really don't get much of an idea of what else I could be looking at. So I can go to energy deflection theory, and it's centered in the screen, and it shows me what it leads to, and parallel branches and all that. So that's good, but my problem is I can't go to the other branches and take a look at them like I want to. And that's kind of nitpicky, I think, on my part, but still it's an issue for me. So I didn't have that problem in Gal Civ 3. I could go to any branch I wanted to and take a look. What do I think of this game? Well, I'm personally a little subjective, a little biased. I love space strategy games more than anything else. I like them better than first-person shooters. I prefer the real-time strategy a little bit more to turn-based, but still, I like this one. I actually like it better than Distant Worlds 2. For me, this is a very good game. It could be excellent if they took away some of the things that annoy me, like the colonization thing, and there's a few other problems, like when you scroll out, you get a big cluster of ships. It's hard to pick out what you want, a few things like that. So there's a few little odds and ends that I don't care for a whole lot, but overall, I think this is a great game. So I thought of putting a numerical rating on these reviews, but I decided I'm not going to do that. So if you want to leave a comment down below about this video, if you'd like to see more of them, do that. Because I'm still trying to find my general direction for this channel. Even though it's 2 years old, I've just resurrected it here recently in the last couple of months, and still not exactly sure what directions to take. I like space strategy. I plan to throw in like a Frostpunk review and a few games like that, and off and on. I've already got Dune in there. So anyway, this is Rich from Loner Strategy Games. Thanks for your time. I will see you later. Bye.